Well, today's recipe is, trust me, very simple. It is almost like a tawa keema called Chicken Takatak. Let's begin. My idea of showing you recipes is very simple. I ensure that the ingredients are in most cases available in your own home kitchens or your pantries, and you really don't have to go all out looking for those ingredients. This recipe is one of those. Now, what is Takatak? Takatak or Katakat, as the sound goes, this is the classic case of onomatopoeia. Remember the figure of speech from our grammar classes? Well, this is a word that takes itself from the sound that it makes while cooking. So takatak is literally the sound that the tawa makes along with the ladle or with the scraper. The first primary ingredient for this recipe is a very peculiar garam masala that I'm going to make for this. Let's begin with that.
Let's begin with coriander seeds, untoasted. Moving on to garam masala powder, red chilli powder, kasuri methi, turmeric powder, and finally to this I'm adding in two very important ingredients: grated nutmeg, freshly grated, and a blade of mace.
The recipe is there in the description box below, so follow that right till the end and you'll get the most amazing chicken takatak or tawa keema. Now, the first core ingredient of this recipe, the garam masala, is done and ready. Let's move on to the next step, and that is making the chicken takatak or the chicken katatak, for which ideally you need a large tawa. Now, it's not generally available in our home kitchens, so what I'm going to use is a kadhai, because a kadhai is there in all our homes. Ensure that you do not use your expensive cookware for something like this. Do not use non-stick, do not use soapstone, do not use marble, do not use granite bowls. Do not use earthenware pots for something like this. Use a skillet or straight move on and use a kadhai. Remember that.
Let's move into the next step, and that is cooking the chicken. Let's begin this recipe with vegetable oil. And before the oil begins to heat, we'll add in chopped or diced chicken. Moving on to paste of ginger and garlic, diced chilies which are not very spicy, diced tomatoes, chili flakes, coriander leaves, and salt. Let's stir all of this well. You will see that some pieces of chicken are sticking at the bottom, but do not worry. Once the oil kind of gradually begins to warm up and later heat up, it will all be fine.
Now that all the ingredients are in the kadhai, let's bring on the takatak mode of this recipe, and that is literally chopping the chicken. It's of course chopped, but now it's going to get further chopped, and for that we're going to use a method called takatak, or chopping inside the cookware itself.
Now this is where the word takatak or katakat comes from. Now here comes in the star spice mix, which goes directly in the chicken. Stir this well and continue chopping it with the help of your ladle. Eventually, the chopped chicken should turn into a hand-chopped keema. At this stage, you could also add in a few splashes of water in case you like it a little moister. I like it nice and dry and almost tawa style. Finally, a sprinkling of coriander leaves and your chicken takatak or katakat is done and ready. Finally, chicken takatak is served best hot with some naan, some roti, some sliced bread or pav.
With this, your chicken Takatak or chicken Katakat recipe is done and ready. Serve this with pav, with naan, with sliced bread, or even a little bit of khichdi. Trust me, it'll taste fantastic. On that note, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to get curried. And for more such quick, simple and easy recipes, stay tuned. Bye for now.